am so sick and tired of people suggesting that everybody's the same, that we don't have cultural differences, that every ethnicity is the same, that races are the same, people are the same. There's no difference. There are differences. Some people, some cultures, some groups, some people from around the world, some races, some people are better at certain things because people are different. You don't find too many Cambodians in the NBA or the NWA for that matter, because Cambodians tend to be smaller in stature, smaller. You don't see 7-foot tall Cambodians. You don't see this. You don't see this. It's the way it goes. And if you can have a culture that is smaller in stature, if you can have a culture that is different from a physiognomy point of view, then you should also be able to have people who are different in terms of maybe perhaps intelligence. Why can't it be possible that a race is more intelligent than another race? Is that beyond possibility? Is that beyond possibility? Do you think that would be something? If people can look different and differently, do you think it is possible for people to be also to enjoy differences in terms of other aspects? Let me try this again. Let me see if I can explain this again. If Asian people can look different than Negroid people, than Caucasoid people, if that is possible, my question is, could they also enjoy intelligence, mathematical prowess, reading, spatial differentiation? Could certain cultures, let's say cultures now, be better in terms of, let's say, art or reading or expression? Do you think that's possible? Yes, that's possible. It doesn't mean we're better in terms of the human beings, but why can't Asians be better at math? On the whole, not all Asians, not everybody, but why not? If you can have a propensity, a predisposition for looking differently, why can't you enjoy one or have one for thinking differently? Why is that a problem? Why does that bother people? I love the story of spelling bees. Spelling bees. I think this is fantastic. In what appears to be a gripping and an unexpected twist, 12-year-old Faizan Zaki from Allen, Texas, emerged as the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee champion, overcoming a stunning self-inflicted error that could have cost him the title. His victory wasn't just a display of spelling mastery. Oh, no. It was a testament to poise under pressure, mental endurance, and sheer resilience. And he's Indian. Zaki, a 6th grader and first-time finalist, captivated viewers with his calm presence and demeanor throughout the competition. But the moment that stole headlines came when he appeared to misspell a relatively simple word. An uncharacteristic mistake that left audiences in disbelief. The word was difficile. Diffficile, a word he'd reportedly encountered before. He paused, faltered, and misspoke the last letter. Gasps filled the room. However, the ruling judges determined that Zaki had not actually completed the word before correcting himself, meaning the mistake didn't officially count. He was granted a second chance, and he seized it with laser focus. From that point on, he was flawless. Each round that followed showcased his encyclopedic knowledge, his composure, and his fierce determination. His final word, ecclesiological, sealed the deal and sent him into the history books. This year's spelling bee was particularly intense, featuring top spellers from across the country. Many with years of competitive experience. But Zaki, whose background includes rigorous preparation and support from his family and local community. You ain't going to see that with a bunch of the slugs we have in our culture. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Monosalabe. Hey, bruh. Literally, bruh. Hey, bruh. We're morons. All of us. These people are superior. Spelling, because determination, family, and hard work, and smarts. He now joins the legacy of Indian American spelling champions. Indian American. All of them. You ever see any Indian American beggars? No. Ever see any Indian American shoplifters? No. Did you ever see any Indian American rioters? No. Did you ever see some Indian American in the backseat of a car saying, hey, bruh, literally, bruh, somebody trying to fake scans at a Walmart? No. Oh, no. No, that's us. Okay. The legacy of Indian American spelling champions who have dominated the competition for over 2 decades. Well, why is that? Why? Zaki's win reignited the conversation, the discussion about why Indian American kids excel at spelling bees, which is a combination of cultural emphasis on academic excellence, and early exposure to etymology and language, and early networks like the North-South Foundation and regional spelling circuits. His victory was not just personal but symbolic of a broader narrative of discipline, sacrifice, in the pursuit of excellence. That's right, my friends. You're not going to see him on some dash cam Karen being arrested. Hey, bruh, literally, bruh, take off these cuffs, bruh. I'm going to sue you, bruh. I can't breathe. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's who we are. Oh, but no, don't read too much into that. The emotional moment when Zaki was crowned was punctuated by cheers, tears, and a crowd on its feet. His parents overwhelmed with pride. Parents, as in 2 parents, accountable parents who could trace their lineage for generations. They credited his endless hours of study and his love for language. Our supposed language, his now, a key to success. Zaki himself expressed both gratitude and humility, saying the experience taught him not only about words, but about perseverance. There's something. Social media lit up with reactions to his near elimination and dramatic comeback. Fans praised his focus, his grace, calling him the comeback kid of the year. Come on, bruh! Literally, bruh! Commentators noted that it's rare for a competitor to bounce back from such a visible mistake and still maintain the clarity to win in subsequent rounds. It was incredible. Zaki, go, Zaki, go. And not Jen Zaki. And a competition that demands perfection. Faizan Zaki's journey to the top wasn't perfect, but it was inspiring. His spelling bee story will be remembered not just for the final word, no, but for the stumble, the recovery, and the heart it took to finish strong. Zaki plans to continue competing and has already become a role model for younger spellers. Not American spellers. One thing is certain, the 2025 B was unforgettable. And Faizan Zaki is a name we'll be hearing for years to come. So why Indian kids? Why do they dominate spelling bees? Why? Why do you think that is? Anybody? Anybody care about this? Anybody care to venture a guess as to why? Maybe there's something. What is it? What is this thing? What is this stuff? Oh, we laugh about that. Oh, he's a nerd. I heard somebody call him a nerd. Somebody said, oh, he's just a nerd. Yeah, he's a nerd. Yeah, he's a nerd. Yeah. Because Americans don't know. We don't put any money. We waste our time with this stupid nonsense of the Knicks. The Knicks. The Knicks. Oh, it's amazing. The Knicks, that's all we care about. The Knicks. They have these Knicks. You see, the Knicks. The Knicks. Who cares? Who cares? This is raw mental acuity. This is intellect. We have no interest in that. Look at some of the stupid comments here. With all due respect, look at some of the stupid comments here. I don't care. Duh. I don't care. I'm an American. I'm an American. Yeah. We're schmucks. We are the laziest bunch of people in the world. We talk a lot of bullshit about everything. We just talk and talk. We don't vote. We don't do anything. We argue about, we'll argue about Harvard and whether Harvard deserves this money, but out of a little bit of kind of jealousy for people who even want to go to Harvard. And I'm with you. I think those people are lowlifes. But we're anti-intellectuals. Look at the stuff that's written here. Look at the comments. Please, later on, if you're listening to this, come back, read the comments. You know who I'm talking about. I've got some of the best people commenting on my page and my area, but some of the biggest bunch of jadruls you'll ever meet in your life, a bunch of anti-intellectual sloths who have nothing to do but sit back, lift up a cheek, fart, belch, and sit in their beanbag chair with their wife beater covered in Cheeto dust, tapping away from the relative obscurity of nothingness. That's who they are. That's who we are. They don't know that. We talk about culture, commitment, and cognitive tradition. We don't have anything like that in our country. We don't have it. We don't have. Read the comments. These people can't even write. They write comments. I don't even know what they're saying. How many times you see me say, what? What does that mean? What? Oh, people will say, yes. They actually will comment, yes. They'll type it. Yes, what? Who are you talking about? What are you talking? Yes. Yes, what? LOL. LOL what? LOL, an emoji. Who are you? There's 25,000 people. What are you talking about? This is who we are because we can't communicate because we're stupid. We're the United States of stupid. And we hate people who don't. Not only do we allow stupid, but we mock people who are smarter than us. And he's smarter than us. And when it comes to intellectual benefit, commitment to excellence, education, the Indian American society is superior. Asians, Chinese, math scholars. Look at what they do. Tiger Mom. There's no such thing as an American Tiger Mom. We're a bunch of, and certain aspects of our society are a bunch of inbred homozygotes, worse than the royal family. I mean, just the biggest group of nothings. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't talk about it. Every year, the Scripps National Spelling Bee delivers a familiar headline. Another Indian American kid hoisting the trophy. Why do you think that is? Since 1999, Indian American kids have won nearly every year, dominating the field with startling, consistency. In 2019, the Bee crowned an unprecedented 8 co-champions, 7 of them Indian American. Coincidence? Not remotely. This phenomenon isn't random. It's cultural, historical, deeply intentional. Look at us. Look at ours. Look who we are. We don't know what's going on. We just sit back here. We don't know anything. We don't know anything. We don't vote. We don't know anything, bruh. Literally, bruh. I mean, I've got some great people, great friends, but just when it comes to communication, when it comes to the idea of articulation, we don't know what we're doing. Now, to understand why Indian American kids excel at spelling bees, I think we need to examine several truths. Uncomfortable for some, but undeniable. Different cultures emphasize different skills. And when those cultural priorities intersect with opportunity and discipline, excellence becomes inevitable. Excellence becomes inevitable. Let's go over a few things. Spelling bees. Let's give you a brief little American tradition. I know. I think that's stupid. I know. I'm a terrible speller. In our culture, we brag about, I'm a terrible speller. Oh, I'm terrible at math. We brag about it. We think that's laudable. Spelling bees have been a part of the American classroom since Noah Webster's blue-backed speller in the late 18th century. They reward not just memorization, but pattern recognition, etymology, language roots, and these folks don't have English for the most part as their native language. Mental endurance, character traits Americans do not have because we put no emphasis on that. What makes spelling bees different from other academic contests is the precision and performance aspects of under pressure. It's not just about knowing the word, it's about delivering it live in front of a national audience. That's exactly what it is. In this setting, in this unique setting, Indian American kids thrive, not only because of the individual skill, but because of a culture that trains them for this exact kind of challenge. We don't do that. Why do you think that is? I think I know. 'Cause we're stupid. The Indian American academic culture is the focus. In many Indian immigrant families, academic success isn't just encouraged, it's expected. It's expected. Indian parents, many of whom came to the U.S. Through highly selective H-1B visa programs, in the old days when it really mattered, often have advanced degrees and a deep belief in educational meritocracy, not mediocrity. And they come to this country to stay. And they open businesses. And they have communities. Look at the Patels in this. Look at the Patels with this not megalopolis, but this. They're like the Rothschilds of hotels and hoteliers. These parents instill in their kids a focused, kind of a structured approach to learning, especially in language, math, and science. And from a young age, Indian American children are taught that education is non-negotiable. Not here. And spelling bees are often viewed not as extracurricular activities, but as training grounds for excellence. Can we say that? No. Many families also believe belong to networks like the North-South Foundation and South Asian Spelling Bee, which prepare kids for the national stage from early on. See, it's not unusual for a spelling bee champion to have trained for 5 to 7 years before even reaching the finals. Now, sometimes we'll see that in sports, kind of like the Olympics, who get their, the swimmers who get up at 3 a.m. and swim along. Yeah. That's important too. And that's great. At least that's a commitment. But this is different. You see, to Indian Americans, language matters. This is the bilingual edge. We have people in this country who don't even speak English. I can take you to parts of this country where they can speak to you and you won't know what they're saying. But you can't say anything. Well, when you have Jasmine Crockett, who was saying, when somebody referred to her speech as ghetto, which it is not, she said, "Oh, no. Hey, child." I think, "Oh, no, that's what's it called? African American variance English," or whatever it was. It's incorrect. It's not regionalism. John Kennedy will speak perfect English. He may speak with an accent. But John Kennedy said, "I finna go." He doesn't say that. He speaks, if you read a transcript of what he is saying, it comes out in perfect English. It may have an accent to it. What other people say, these words don't exist. They don't exist. Do you think Indians ever say, do you think any Indian has ever confused ask with axe? Do you think this ever happened? And by the way, that's not an exclusive black thing. Believe me, I can take you to parts of New York where that is part and parcel. So I know what you're thinking. You think, ooh. And all we care about is not having it become a racial. It's funny. You can blast white people all day long. That's okay. But say something that even intimates of what you're directing, what your particular focus of discipline or consternation is regarding black people, and you go crazy. India is one of the most linguistically diverse nations on earth. Most Indian American kids grow up bilingual, speaking an Indian language at home, English in school, and the natural fluency gives them a powerful ear for phonetics and linguistic nuance. Remember, many of them have a deep accent. Some of them you will hear, because there are other people who have other bilingual families who have accents, but they don't have the commitment to education. See, many also use Sanskrit-based roots, which helps in decoding Latin and Greek etymologies, which is crucial to mastering complex English words. Not in our country. No, no. Spelling bees reward rote learning and linguistic structure, brute force mentality, skills honed through repetition-heavy education systems that are common in India and passed down generationally. See what I'm saying? I could sit around with a bunch of people and they're saying, what are you talking about? See, they have this thing called community and competition. Indian American communities rally around spelling bees. Winning isn't just a personal achievement, it's a communal badge of honor. And local Indian newspapers, they love it. They go crazy. Community centers, cultural organizations, they celebrate young champions the way others, and we treat sports prodigies. Sports. We don't care about Eagle Scouts. We don't care about National Merit Scholars. We don't care about nothing. But stupid sports, we go nuts over it. See, the cultural celebration creates a positive feedback loop. And as more Indian kids win, others aspire to follow. And it becomes part of the identity. Speller is not just a label. It's a role, kind of a rite of passage. And none of this makes any sense to Americans because we are anti-intellectual sloths. The practice factor, the 10,000-hour rule in action. Have you heard this one? Indian American spellers don't wing it. Their preparation is brutal. And it's not uncommon. Well, look with chess with Magnus Carlsen. This is hard work. Hard work. You see, it's not uncommon for top contenders to spend 6 hours a day memorizing word origins, spelling patterns, exceptions, obscure vocabulary. There we go. I gave up trying to explain that one years ago. You see, some families hire spelling coaches or build custom flashcard apps. Others simulate spelling bee conditions nightly. This isn't mere ambition. It's a systematic training regimen. It's akin to Olympic-level athletics. These kids earn their victories through obsession, repetition, sacrifice. And their families provide structures that prioritize this effort above distractions like sports or casual hobbies. See, this is alien to us. Right now, as I speak to you, people watching this, Americans are saying, what is he talking? Why would you want to do this? Because it's incomprehensible to us. This is cognitive diversity and it's real. Just as Indian American kids have built a dynasty in spelling bees, other ethnic groups show strengths in different domains. This kills people. East Asian students, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, routinely dominate international math and science competitions. Why? Their cultures emphasize discipline, mastery, and STEM achievement. Science, technology, education, math, or engineering rather than math. And should be STEAM, throw in art as well. And their educational systems often reflect Confucian traditions, valuing scholarship and precision. Jewish students historically have overperformed in verbal and abstract reasoning with cultural emphasis on debate, Talmudic study, questioning, linguistic nuance. Absolutely. West African immigrants, Caribbean American students show strong penetration in writing, debate, and social science contests, often driven by cultural pride, rhetoric, strong oral tradition. Let me tell you something. And white American kids, don't go there. White American kids have historically dominated geography bees, civics competitions, essay contests, often with more support from schools and extracurricular programs in suburban districts. You see, these patterns are not racist. They're immutable. They're true. They're a result of cultural, capital values and specialization. And in truth, culture shapes cognition. See, what you prioritize, you practice. And what you practice, you perfect. This is something that we have a hard time explaining to people. They hate this. Now, the downside of denying patterns is scary. You see, the modern West is often hesitant to admit that certain groups excel at certain things. But this refusal to accept reality stunts progress. Recognizing patterns isn't prejudice, it's intelligence. We should study and learn from what works, not pretend excellence is random. You see, the success of Indian American spellers is not a mystery. It's a roadmap. It shows what happens when cultural values, community support, rigorous training, and high expectations all converge. Rather than trying to level the outcomes, DEI, diversity, equality, integration, like de Blasio did when he killed the entrance exams for Bronx School of Science in Stuyvesant. We should be asking, what can others learn from this model? What if we valued spelling mastery or math fluency or musical discipline? What if we did that across all demographics? Not just as some niche pursuit, but as a standard, kind of a national standard. What would happen to us? And we've got to understand this important point. We have to celebrate diversity of excellence. Not diversity of people just because they're black or they're white or they're gay or they're trans, but because diversity of excellence. Every ethnicity, every culture has its lane. Some are verbal, some mathematical, some mechanical, some artistic. These differences aren't something to deny. They're something to embrace and study and appreciate. And Indian American dominance in spelling bees in particular doesn't mean they're better. It means they're focused and they're committed and they're empowered within that domain. So, if anything, the success of these young spellers should inspire every child, everybody, regardless of race or background, that greatness is possible. When culture and discipline meet, when we as a society celebrate smart, when we don't call people nerds, when we don't mock them because they're smarter than us or better than us. We don't mock athletes. Oh, no, athletes. Oh, anything for athletes. But this should also remind us that cultural concerns and that in particular culture matters. Expectations matter. And what we praise becomes what we produce. See, this is something which people don't understand. Now, I don't expect anybody today, and I mean this, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but I don't expect anybody here to understand and to appreciate what I've said. I really don't. I don't, because it's contrary to the way we think. America is a country of the smart ass. We think we're better. We like to expect, but we're really not better. I'm sorry to say this, we are not better. Let me see. I'm putting together a piece on this. This is something very, very important. There's sometimes I get so frustrated, I have to walk away. Because I wish that we could somehow put ourselves into a world where, I don't know what the word is. I wish that we could somehow put ourselves in a world where we appreciate stuff like this. I mentioned to you before this thing about the Knicks. There are people who, I hear this, New York in particular, they're acting like the Knicks. Like the Knicks matter. The Knicks are going, I mean, and there's feigned, come on Knicks, come on New York, we can do it. What are you talking about? What are you, what does this mean? And I don't know, and they don't know. We put so much of this stupid effort in this bread and circus is nonsense. And It's not that I don't understand it. I think, don't people care about this? Don't people seriously care? Is it just me? Is it just me? How do you think we're ever going to get better? And by the way, the people like some of us who were smart enough to recognize patterns, smart enough to call things where they are, smart enough to recognize things as being false, we're called conspiracy theorists and tossed aside. Even when we stand up to show our own particular genius, our own particular expertise, and being able to ferret out the truth, and to show a degree of bravery and intrepidity when it comes to pointing out the obvious, even we're told, listen, you're bothering us. If America really wants to understand what's going on, if it really wants to get better, we've got to learn the way we think, and we've got to say things the way it is. And we have to stop celebrating stupidity. And we have to keep countenancing this ridiculous mouth-breathing nonsense. I mean this, and I love so many of you. But if anybody from any country saw what you write, they would say, who are these people? Are they illiterate? No, they live here. They live here? They're from here? Yes. Really? This is the way they write. What does it mean? I don't know. They write not to communicate. They write to say, hey, I'm here. They write to, it's like they're raising their hand. It's like they have an emoji or something, or it's notice me. It's not, it has nothing really to do with saying something. It's more of just, again, saying, I'm here, like me, notice me. I don't have anything to add. I'm not interested in adding things to this. I don't understand the concept of this. There are many people reading today and writing today who've never written a paragraph in maybe 25 years, if not ever, who've never written an article, who've never read a book, who don't place any effort whatsoever in intellectual heft, but they love attitude, and they mistake attitude for brilliance. Look at the people that sometimes they love on YouTube, whatever. It's the attitude. It's not what they're saying. It's not what they're saying. They love attitude. Oh, did you see so and so? She blasted so and so. Did you see? Take for example, I mentioned this moron, Jordan Peterson. I've been telling you for the longest time. He's a pseudo-intellectual. He's Eric Weinstein, completely full of shit. But their attitudes, because they're quirky, and their numbers, Patrick Bet David, are just maroons. All of these people, nothing even remotely there. The other day I was sitting in WABC in the studio, and I'm looking up at this TV, and somebody had Gut Bucket on, and it's got this big hyperglandular guy with a grown man with a hat backwards named Typhoid spewing nothing, and it was laughed at and loved. Because if you're scatological, and I am tastefully scatological, if you're into jokes about brutal, sexual matters, then you're funny, and then you're whatever it is. I guess I'm not really sure. I fear for us so much. Right now, the biggest story, and by the way, there are some people who are doing this, and to his credit, Joe Rogan does a lot of stuff, I think, to perpetuate and to help promote serious thinking. I really do. He is, because he has a sense of awe, and he loves talking about this. Lex Friedman did one of the best. Please watch his latest. There's a 3-hour conversation on World War II. This man was genius level in terms of the amount of fact. Absolutely incredible, because if there's anything that we're really illiterate about, it's history. We have no idea whatsoever. I was trying to talk to somebody who was using the term anti-Semitic. He was confusing anti-Semitic with anti-Israel, with anti-Zionist, with whatever it is. Wrong. There are people who feel that somehow it's an American rite of passage to be a conservative, to basically spew nonsense against Putin. Living in this weird kind of a post-Cold War, Russophobic, Boris and Natasha lunacy. They didn't understand what was going on. They didn't grasp it. I can't say it enough. I can't put it into words. I fear so much. Oh, and as I told you, the number one existential fear, or I think threat, that poses not only us but all society is that of artificial intelligence. Good luck explaining that one. Good luck. You can forget it. Just forget it. Forget it. The number of people talking about the Diddy trial who don't even understand the rudimentary, the ABCdarian basics, the foundations of American judicature regarding why this guy is being charged with cases that they will never prove. And they're confusing sexual paraphilia and erotic, whatever it was, with racketeering behavior. Good luck trying to explain this. Good luck. America doesn't understand this because America has lost its way. Our schools have failed us. Our schools have absolutely failed us. Look around. Look at what people say. Look. Don't take my word for it. Look. Read this. Read what people write. Read what people say. Look at it. Remember, it is the goal of most people not to comment, but to be noticed, to raise their hand. Notice me. I don't care what I say. Notice me. I will not be ignored, as the great Alex Forrest said in Fatal Attraction. It's absolutely true. We have people. I've tried to explain. Supposedly we're a true crime society. I try to explain to people how Dan Bongino and these others are so full of shit when they're suggesting that Epstein committed suicide by virtue of forensic evidence. And when you talk about thyroid, cartilage, and hyoid bone fractures, that's it. Game over. Good luck. Good luck. You don't need a degree for that. It's very simple. We're not autodidacts. We don't read. We don't self-learn. We don't do this. So let me tell you something right now. When I hear people laugh about these Indians being nerds, I realize it is the demise of our society. Demise culturally. What is the American culture? What is the white European American culture? What is it? What is it? What do we put emphasis on? What? Waving flags? Waving flags? I had the other day, I got into an argument, sort of, with somebody who actually was telling me that he was celebrating, it was like kind of a distant relative, their service in the military on Memorial Day. And I said, but they didn't die in combat. You mean Veterans Day? Didn't even understand that. Didn't understand that. There's a genre, as people say, called I guess you'd call it, mob or racket, whatever it is. If ever you wanted a tutorial on why you should never be a part of this group, listen to these people speak. Listen to these people speak, okay? Just listen. And there you have it. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, wow. Listen. Okay? So there you have it, my friends. Now, expect nothing to come of this. Expect nobody to say anything about this. Expect nobody to even have the slightest grip or understanding of what I'm saying. Expect people to reject it. And because it is something that Americans don't do. Americans, for the most part, feel that they're better than everybody else and that we are exceptional. We don't have to worry about this stuff because we're great and we've made the world and all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of part of our charm, but it will be our downfall. Remember, this white European guy that people keep talking about, you're going to lose. You're going to lose not only to AI, but you're going to lose to people. Put it this way: the number one American name is going to be Jose. It used to always say it was Muhammad, but it's going to be Jose, and you're going to see a complete and total transformation of the American culture, as we say. And one of the reasons why it's going to happen is that Americans are not able to even understand what's going on, because they will, honest to God, think. I'm going to say, with all due respect, they will think that Jesse Waters is their connection to understanding what's happening to this country. As my friend calls them, pseudo-intellectuals. So there you have it, my friend. There you have it. Pay attention. Read it and weep. I'm sorry if people don't want to think this. I know it's not something they particularly care for. I recognize this. Nobody wants to think it, but we are sunk. We are sunk. And every now and then a story like this comes along, and I'll be putting it out in a newsletter, which I'm wasting my time. But that's okay. Somebody somewhere will say, he's right. And I don't expect people to understand it, and I don't expect people to get it, because it's just, we are an anti-intellectual society. We don't understand this. We will talk about all this stuff left and right. We'll talk. We love to talk about DEI, CRT, and critical race theory and all this stuff at school. But when you want to talk about school and critical thinking and education, it's a waste of time. So, my friends, I thank you. Please follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Don't forget to follow the other channel that we have. It's called Lionel Legal. And make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. And there you have it, my friends. The truth hurts. But I mean, if we're ever going to get better, if we're ever going to change our way, we have to accept who we are and what we're not. Until then, my friends, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dead.